Hello. So my son told me that I should read more chapter books. So today we are going to read Goosebumps, Slappy World. And this one is Escape from Shudder Mansion. And it's by R.L. Stine. So Goosebumps was really big when I was growing up too. I loved it. And it's crazy to see that it's still around and there's some movies out there. So if you have this book, you can read along. If not, I will read it out loud, of course. There's no photos in here, so I won't be showing you pictures, but I'll just read a couple chapters and then next week we'll do more chapters, okay? So, Slappy here, everyone. Welcome to my world. Yes, it's Slappy World. You are only screaming in it. Ha ha ha. You know, being a living evil dummy is a tough job, but someone's got to do it. And who does it better than me? Ha. I only wish I had longer arms, then I could pat myself on the back. Hey, I'm going to a party tonight. Know why? I get invited to so many parties because I'm a scream. But don't call me dummy. My IQ is so high you have to climb a ladder to read it. I don't want to brag. I have faults just like anyone else. Know my biggest fault? I'm too awesome. Now here's a story that will haunt you. That's because it's about a haunted house. Riley Shiner knows it's a house of monsters and evil spirits, but he and his twin sister Scarlett decide to spend the night there anyway. Just think of all the scary things that could happen to them. Actually, you don't have to think about them because I'm going to tell them all to you in gruesome detail. I call this story Escape from Shudder Mansion, but the title is a lie because there is no escape. It's just one more terrifying tale from Slappy World. So here we go. Chapter 1. Every time I see the huge old mansion, my mouth goes dry and I feel a chill tighten the back of my neck. When I step into the yard, I can feel the temperature drop at least 10 degrees. I guess that's because the ancient trees are so tall, they block out most of the sunlight. But I think the cold is coming from the house, seeping out through the cracked windows and crooked doors. With its black slate roof and high stone towers, the house rises above the treetops and casts a deep shadow no matter the time of day. Wow. The house is nearly hidden by the trees that grow at the garden's border at the edge of the sidewalk. You have to step far into the yard until its dark walls and blackened windows come into view. By that time, it's too late. Too late to escape its ghostly coldness. Too late to escape the evil. As it curls around you and freezes you in its icy grip. Okay. I know I got a little carried away there. You don't know me yet. If you knew me, you would know that sometimes I get excited and go a little overboard. I am Riley Shiner. I'm 12. My twin sister Scarlett knows me best. Scarlett says I'm just like her guitar. Sometimes the strings get wound too tight and make a shrill sound. She says I'm just like those strings, wound too tight. LOL, right? I can't argue with Scarlett, and I can't get angry at her because she makes me laugh. Scarlett is funny. People expect a lot from you when you're twins. For one thing, they expect you to look alike. Well, Scarlett and I don't. She is tall and thin and has wavy red hair and blue eyes. I'm about 3 inches shorter and a little chubby, and my hair and eyes are dark brown. When people meet us for the first time, they don't think we're twins. They don't even think we're brother and sister. Actually, we're identical twins. Scarlett tells people. That always cracks us both up. Most people just get confused. You have to listen to me, Riley, Scarlett says, because I'm 12 minutes older than you. I don't know if she means that or not. Does she really think she can boss me around because she's the big sister? Anyway, it was after school and she was leading the way through the trees and back Shudder Mansion. Yes, Shudder Mansion. The name of the house says it all. It was maybe the last place I wanted to be. I stepped in front of her to block her path. Scarlet, why do we have to go this way? You know the stories about this place. It's a shortcut, she said. And we're in a hurry because I'm late for my Wednesday guitar lesson, she said. But today's Thursday, I protested. That means I'm really late. I told you she's funny. She pushed me out of the way and started walking a zigzag path through the trees. I gazed at the back of the house. The stone walls were cracked, long cracks that looked like lightning bolts. The 2 back windows were boarded up, the glass missing. I felt another chill. Scarlet, this isn't going to save us any time, I said. Not if you keep stopping, she said. She narrowed her blue eyes at me. You don't really believe the stories about the mansion, do you? Maybe, I said. The word came out in a squeak. Look at this place, I motioned with one hand. It has to be evil. She shook her head. Seriously, you have got to stop playing that video game. You have to understand, Shudder Mansion is so scary and so famous. There is an awesome best-selling video game about it. The game is called Escape from Shudder Mansion. And to tell the truth, I'm kind of obsessed with it. I mean, how many games take place right in your neighborhood? The game starts 2 blocks from my house. I've played it so much, I know every room, every twist and turn of the dark halls. It's about these evil spirits that are trapped in the house. They want revenge for their fate on anyone who ventures into the house. Sometimes the spirits take the form of humans. Sometimes they become monsters. You never know what's around the corner or behind a door. As you play, you accumulate weapons. The idea is you have to destroy each evil spirit before it can kill you, or you will become one of them, trapped in Shudder Mansion forever. I've made it to the 4th level. It wasn't easy. I had a lot of scary moments and close calls, and I died a lot. The 5th level has a scary monster that I haven't been able to destroy no matter what I try. Scarlet keeps telling me it's just a game, but where did the idea for the game come from? It came from the real Shudder Mansion. And what if the game makers were telling the truth? What if they didn't make the story up? A lot of horror movies are based on true stories, right? So I think you can see why I didn't want to take a shortcut through the back lawn. Even if Scarlet was late for her guitar lesson, come on, Riley, hurry, she said. Stop looking at the house. Standing in a small clearing of trees, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I squinted into the shadowy, flickering light and thought I saw something like smoke, narrow and black. I watched it float out of the broken windows. I gasped, Scarlet, look! But she was far ahead of me, making her way through the trees. Unable to breathe or move, I watched the black shadow grow larger as it whirled away from the mansion. Blacker than the other shadows, like a cloud of ink, it curled low to the ground, taking shape of a snake, slithering, folding in on itself, raising a fanged, triangle-shaped head. And then I remembered this black, snaky creature from the video game. I'd seen it, and I'd never defeated it, and it's coming for me, I realized, silently. I slid and curled over the grass in a straight line toward me. This black serpent shadow, my whole body went cold. As it slithered closer, I could feel its evil washing around me. I could feel it, the whole yard turning dark now. I opened my mouth and a scream spun around and I started to run. Chapter 2. I stumbled over a clump of tall weeds. My backpack flew over my head as I tumbled to the ground. I landed hard. The breath shot out of me, a loud whoosh, and pain spread over my chest. Ugh. I wanted to scramble to my feet, but I couldn't breathe. I rolled onto my back, choking, gasping for air. I raised my head and saw the black shadow coming closer. I watched it rise up like a tall ocean wave. It spread out and rose higher and higher and higher. Then it swept over me. I lay there helpless, still unable to breathe, smothered in its coldness now, covered in blackness, and inside the shadow, deep inside, I saw the glow, the blazing glow of red eyes. Red eyes flaming inside a monster's face, a face twisted and distorted with lips like fat worms, lips that opened to reveal 2 sets of pointed gray teeth. I stared helplessly at the glowing red eyes. The shadow creature spread its blackness over me. I shivered and shook. I struggled to toss it off, but it clung to me, wrapped itself tightly around my shoulders, and started to shake me hard. Chapter 3. It shook me so hard my teeth rattled. I struggled to see it in the total darkness, and then the shadow lifted. I blinked as the trees above me came into focus. Rays of yellow sunlight flashed and flickered in the leaves. I gazed up. It was Scarlet, shaking me by the shoulders. Not the monster inside the black cloud. She had both hands on my shoulders. She was on her knees, leaning over me, shaking me. Where was the evil shadow? Scarlet finally let go and climbed to her feet. What's wrong, Riley? She demanded. Why are you on the ground? I raised my head. A shadow, I murmured. Get up. What are you doing down there? She lowered a hand to help me pull me to my feet. But I didn't take her hand. Instead, I stared at the creature beside me in the grass. A cat. A green-eyed black cat. Whew! I uttered a cry and jumped up. Scarlet laughed. Is that what you were scared of? Is that what scared you? A black cat? No, I stammered. The cat tilted its head to one side and stared at me without blinking. It's not a cat, Scarlet, I thought, my heart pounding. It's some kind of shadow creature from the house. I didn't imagine it. This is not really a cat. Scarlet tugged my t-shirt sleeve. Let's go. Don't you know you can't win a staring contest with a cat? Before I could move, the cat hissed at me and swiped a paw in the air. I jumped back. My sister laughed. That cat doesn't like you. I don't like it either, I whispered. I squinted down at it and tried to read its eyes. I knew I was right about it. Get over it, Scarlet said. You can't be afraid of a black cat, Riley. Look how tame and sweet it is. I watched it spin away from me, raising its tail high behind it. The cat looped off through the tall weeds and silently padded over the grass toward the mansion. And as it ran, it appeared to dissolve. It just melted away. Poof! It became a blob of smoke again. When it neared the mansion, floating over the lawn, it faded into a flickering shadow. Then I gasped as the shadow exploded. It burst apart into a million pieces, like dandelion seeds when you blow on them. I stood frozen, watching the tiny bits of shadow blow apart, float high over the grass and disappear. Did you see that, Scarlet? I screamed. Did you see that? She was bent over, picking my backpack up from where I dropped it. See what, Riley? The cat, I sputtered. It ran away, so what? No, you don't understand, the cat. I stopped with my mouth hanging open. I squinted into the shadowy light to the low stone wall that ran along the back of the yard. Something moved along the wall. There was someone there, a girl, standing very still under a tree that overhung the wall. I squinted harder. Who is that? Chapter 4. Let's find out, Scarlet said. She jumped over a fallen tree branch and began walking toward the girl. I hesitated. Scarlet turned back. You're not scared of her, are you? Are you going to throw yourself on the ground and start hyperventilating again? I could feel my face turning red. Okay, give me a break. I knew what I'd seen was real, but what was the point of arguing with Scarlet? She was 12 minutes older than me. That meant she had to win every argument and be right all the time. The girl watched us as we made our way to her. Her blonde hair sparkled in a splash of sunlight. Even from a distance, I could see she was very pale. She looked about our age, short and very thin. She wore a white top and blue skirt that came down to her knees. She had both hands tucked into the pockets of her skirt. Hey, Scarlet called. Hi. The girl removed one hand from a pocket and gave us a short little wave. She was very pretty, I thought. Dark eyes, her smile slowly spread over her face. Why is she standing against the back wall of the Shudder mansion? As we stepped close, her smile grew wider. Her blonde hair fluttered in the gust of wind. Hi, Scarlet, said. How's it going? I'm Scarlet, and he's Riley. My name's Mia, she said. She had a soft, whispery voice. It seemed to come from deep in her throat. We were just taking a shortcut through the back lawn here, I said. We live 2 blocks over, Scarlet explained, pointing to the direction of our house. Are you new here? Mia nodded. My family just moved in 2 blocks that way, she said in a throaty whisper and pointed in the opposite direction. What are you doing back here? I blurted out. Scarlett gave me a look like, what kind of question is that? Mia has every right to be here too. Mia shrugged, just exploring. I don't know the neighborhood at all. Scarlett started to say something, but I interrupted. Did you see that black cat? Mia shook her head. No, I didn't see a cat. Scarlett frowned at me. Riley, give us a break. It was just a black cat. No one is interested. Mia studied me. Are you afraid of black cats? I shrugged. Not really, I answered. You just wandered back here? Did anyone tell you about this house? Scarlett rolled her eyes. I didn't care. Mia was new in the neighborhood. She should be warned. Do you believe in evil spirits? I said. Do you believe a whole house can be evil? Mia laughed. She had a high tinkly laugh. Kind of musical. I don't think so. Well, this place is called Don't Listen to My Brother, Scarlett interrupted. He's obsessed with the video game about this old house. It's called Escape from Shudder Mansion. Have you heard of it? Mia tugged a strand of blonde hair. I don't think so. I'm not too into video games. Well, Riley plays it for hours, Scarlett said. It's all about this old mansion and how evil it is. Riley's obsessed with the game and he's started to believe it. A lot of people believe it, I snapped. I'm not crazy. I was tired of Scarlett making fun of me. I didn't think that she would start telling Mia how stupid I was for believing the stories about the mansion. Okay, maybe I had an instant crush on Mia. Maybe I didn't want my sister to embarrass me in front of her. Maybe that's all I'm saying. I realized Mia was still studying me. So what do you believe inside? What's inside the mansion? She asked. Evil spirits, I said. They once were human, but they were turned into shadow creatures. They can be human or they can be monsters. They are trapped inside the mansion. There's no way they can get out, and they wait for someone to come inside so they can take their revenge on the world that trapped them. Mia laughed. Sounds like a horror movie or something. I warned you, Scarlett said. Mia raised her eyes to the mansion. Is there really a video game about this old abandoned mansion? I nodded. It might be the scariest game ever made, and it all takes place right in our own neighborhood. Mia's eyes burned into mine. Would you be afraid to go inside the mansion? Would you ever, dare to go inside? Her question caught me by surprise. The answer was no, but I didn't want Mia to think I was a wimp. Yeah, I'd go inside, I said, but I'd probably like for some of my friends to come with me. Scarlett rolled her eyes, then turned away to wave to some kids she knew. Mia laughed. And as Mia laughed, something weird happened. She changed. Her pale skin seemed to fade away. I mean, I could see right through it. I could see right through her skin, into her skull. As she laughed, I could see her bony skull. I stared in horror at her skeletal grin. Her eyes disappeared. Her eyeballs sank back into their sockets until their sockets appeared like two deep holes in the front of her skull. Her teeth now looked crooked and cracked, and her lips were gone. She stood there, hands in her pockets, a skull, a laughing, eyeless skull. I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't stop the scream that burst from deep inside of me. No! Okay, we'll do one more chapter. Oh, it's a short one. It's like a page. Okay, it's chapter 5. Scarlett turned and dove for me. She grabbed me again. She squeezed my shoulders and shook me hard. It was getting to be a habit. Riley, what is your problem? She demanded. I turned and stared over my sister's shoulder at Mia. Mia with her blonde hair and pretty dark eyes and nice smile. Mia, nice and normal again. Am I cracking up? Totally losing it? No, I'm not. I know I'm not crazy, but I had to cover up somehow. I just let out a deafening scream of horror. Something bit me, I said. I scratched my ankle. Hope it wasn't a spider. Lame, I know, but it was the best I could do. I gazed at Mia, waiting for her to change again. I knew I had seen right through her skin. I couldn't get the picture of her empty eye sockets and cracked missing teeth out of my mind. I saw her laughing, her skeletal open jaw laugh. I saw right through her face. Suddenly, I was even more desperate to get away from Shudder Mansion. Scarlett and Mia were talking, but I didn't hear a word. I wanted to get far away from the creepy old place and Mia as fast as I could. I wanted to talk to Scarlett, to ask her if she saw anything strange about this girl. Something was definitely weird about her. I had to talk to my sister about it. Standing so close to Shudder Mansion was totally freaking me out. I had the sudden feeling that I might explode in another's room. Okay, I know I needed to calm down. I panic easily. It's a problem. I'm working on it. I grabbed Scarlett's hand and started to tug her away. I couldn't believe it when I heard her invite Mia over to our house for dinner. No, please don't bring her to our house, I pleaded silently. There's something very wrong here. Something horrible is going to happen. Come on, come home with us, Scarlett was saying. I think we're having spaghetti. Do you like spaghetti? Mia nodded. She glanced over Scarlett's shoulder at me. I forced a smile to my face. Awesome, I murmured. Okay, thank you, Mia said. And the next thing I knew, the three of us were walking along the sidewalk to my house, talking as if everything were just peachy and perfectly fine. Until we crossed the street and our house came into view, and Mia suddenly turned to me and demanded, Riley, why do you keep looking at me like that? Okay, so we stopped at chapter 6, and I will come finish a couple more chapters the next time. So look for another video in about a week or sooner. Have a great day and wash your hands, cover your mouth, and be safe out there. Bye.